game. Right, I thought the next team, let's just talk about one of the top teams now, because I really want to get the take, quite frankly. I want to start with you, Grabs, because obviously I ask Dom this every week, right? Me and Dom are absolute bona fide stands for Perkz. You have to understand that, right? Now, it's true. Yeah. There's a very good reason. He's fucking really good at League of Legends. But even when he's in his bad times, like, I am the guy where it's like, he still does it now in all the games. Even when he does have, like, the 2 moments, like, oh, almost threw it there. Oh, he lived. That's okay. It's okay. And then when he does, like, the flank later and he wins the game, I'm like, he knew. You could always rely on him, even though, like, he does. There are a few moments he always gets. I want to know what you think of current Perkz.
Better in lane than I thought he would be this year, honestly.
Okay.
He's performing better. And I don't even think it's necessarily... I mean, Bo and Vi is just permanent queuing, right? Like, this guy does not like having Q on cooldown.
Yep.
But Perkz, for sure, is playing better than I thought he would. I think, in general, the entire team clicked way earlier than they had any right to have, I felt like. So, yeah, I'm really happy for Luca. Like, he's playing pretty well. Of course, like, as he tends to have, especially later games in the night, it's like 1 or 2 minutes of not thinking and just going somewhere autopilot. Okay. I think he had like 2 or 3 some crazy silent deaths.
Yeah, he's just like old,
goes for a wave he shouldn't go.
He's old. He needs a bed. Like, he has a bedtime. You know, he goes to sleep at 11:30 every night. Like, this is the part of his career, like, where, you know, if you give him an early game, he's gonna smurf. That's it.
Yeah. No, I think he's playing pretty well. I think he can be happy with the current how to say it, current form.
I actually think, by the way, like, the angle that's mad, I never thought I would be seeing this of all the angles, is fucking hell. It's like, obviously Bo is a monster. Like, he probably is an MVP candidate, but like, the solos in general for Vitality is really good. That top side of the map is too good, Dom. It's just too fucking good. Like, I keep trying to find ways in my mind that, like, if they go to playoff store, then this happens, then maybe like G2 is quite. It's like Vitality should right now. Vitality should win the split.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Bo had his worst 2 games of the split, and they still won one.
They won when he absolutely fed. Yeah. It was mad, wasn't
it? I mean, Bo completely ran it in 2 games, and Perkz ran it in the first game. So they had 3 people running it. The only angle I can see against Vitality, because I think Photon is like way more solid than I predicted. I thought he was going to be like I had never seen a game of him play, and my prediction was, he came from T1 Challengers, he'll probably be pretty good. That's all I said. He actually looks like the best top laner in the league, like, bar none. There's no one even close to the level that Photon's on. Right now in LEC. The one angle I can see is I feel like this bot lane is a little bit sketchy. Like, there's a bunch of fights where I'm expecting Neon to carry, and it just seems like he just runs it down in crucial moments. So if, like, Bo and Perkz start having more off games like this, and they're like, you know, they're trading off running it down, I don't know if Photon is going to be good enough to just completely carry the entire series. So we'll see. I mean, obviously we're entering a different AD carry meta. Might be beneficial to somebody like Neon. I mean, that's left to be determined, but that is the one thing that I'm worried about with Vitality. Their bot lane seem fine in lane, but they don't seem good at carrying fights that need to be carried if other people make mistakes.
What do you think, Grabs?
I think that's fair. I think what benefits the bot lane, just to say, is though I think they're really, really stable in the early game. Like, it's not like you can attack them, right? It's on them to not carry fights. But it's not like if you camp them, like, let's say the G2, you have Sama and Mickey, right? It's really hard to break them to the degree where I think you're going to have a big lead, which I think this is what the team needs. I agree, though, that, I mean, Neon, of course, could play better in some cases, but historically, he also likes us as well in Jinx having more range, right? He's more of a range player. He's, like, a bit worse if he has to come closer to the fight. So I'm not sure. I mean, he's not a Draven player, I think. So the changes will not be that important for him. But I think the team is very balanced. Storm said Photon is playing way better than I thought he would. And then just Bo Perkz, if they have a good day, is just pretty much the best mid jungle in the league.
I'm with you though, Dom. I agree. That is the one area. Because it's not like, by the way, because people are going to think this if they don't watch the games. It's not like they just mega stomp the first 15 minutes so hard every time with Bo that, like, the game's just over and there's no chance for Neon to do anything. It's like, what the hell? The game's already won. Like, no, he's had a bunch of times. Like even in that massive game that they almost blew against fucking XL, like, he has chances to carry late. He just doesn't do it. Like, the joke is, in their team, it is the solos who carry late. Like, it is Photon's just, like, mega fed, or Perkz does, like, a clutch play, comes out of nowhere. I agree with you, though. As mad as it sounds, the fact that they could actually still win that game when Bo was feeding his ass off is fucking ridiculous. Like, the joke there, the obvious fucking shit joke I'll insert is, because obviously, you know, there's still the language barrier. Someone told him after his last game, that when he was fucking dominating, like, you're playing like the boss, for fuck's sake. And then he thought they said the bouse, FFS, so he just actually ran it down the next game. Easy mistake to make. You know, he's trying to just understand our culture, guys. Like, give him time. No, mate, that just makes me think, like, how did they lose? You know, you have to have like 5 things go wrong for them to lose.
Yep. The XL game was the game where I was like, yeah, like Bo really ran it down. What the fuck went on? The game where he was like 0-10, actually, like in one way, I gained more respect because even when he was running it down, he was still making plays, and I really appreciate that out of a player because a lot of players that are used to being ahead, when they start getting behind, they just become nothing. They're just like, I'm just not going to do anything for the rest of the game. Just going to try to not fuck up the game further. But I like seeing somebody who's able to like get through that and still make aggressive plays. I mean, just look at the other teams, right? Like look at XL and Fnatic. You literally have like a bunch of players there where you could say that same criticism against when the game is not going well for them, completely shut down, just don't do anything and just lose. So that wasn't like, I don't know. I know a lot of people think the sky is falling. Like immediately they're like, oh, Bo is washed. Like I'm literally seeing that after like after fucking 2 bad games,
you're just definitely a fan of a different team if you're saying that. That is the craziest copium I've ever heard. Like, he's washed. It's that one game. It's over for him. He's not out of jungle. There's no way.
It's crazy.
No, he's cracked as fuck, mate. What are you talking about?
I mean, also, it's just when you look at his playstyle, like if you look at Bo and you tried to analyze his play, this is theoretically the worst possible meta that Bo could ever exist in, right? Like this is a Maokai
Sejuani and shit. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The reason, like, what Bo is best at is, like, if you look at when he gets rank 1, he's playing fucking Graves, Talia, like, all these carry junglers. He can play the whole roster of carry junglers, Karthus, like, all these types of picks, and he can just be one of the best. Olaf. None of the champions that he's actually really good at are in the meta, and he still looks proficient.
Yes.
That's all that needs to be said.
Also, just to add, just because as a coach, I think also of the upside is, like G2 has a little Falco, right? Who was really, really good at drafting. But I also think Carter and Hyanon so far have done a good job at drafting as well. I think it's also really hard to attack them there. I think the only sus game I have in mind right now is the LeBlanc one, but that's because LeBlanc is kind of weird. Yeah.
That makes me wonder if that was a Perkz pick. It's a classic champion of his, you know. Maybe he just said, fuck it, give me it, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think they're doing a really good job there as well. So the team is very solid. There's no clear weakness, I would say.
By the way, do you think that we're overhyping Bo? Because, like, put it this way, I do think he looks like look, I'll say if people don't watch LCS, the Prince guy also is very good. He was on FlyQuest now. He was like that ADC was up and coming. Right? Genuinely, I think this guy is going to be like the best import ever, mate. I think he's unbelievable. Am I overhyping him, Bo?
I mean, the best ever, hard to say, but this guy just has pressure constantly. As Tom said, right? He can be 0-20 on Vi, but the D carry will still have pressure on him just because the way Bo positions and uses the spells, right? So he is really, really good, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, he definitely has the potential to be. There's nothing like if he ended up being if Bo was the best import ever in like 2 years' time, I wouldn't be like at this point. I wouldn't be like, oh, no one saw it come. Like I thought he would be good, but he wouldn't be that good. I mean, that is just what his talent level was supposed to be. Like that, and he's lived up to like what the hype is.
Yes.
It's not like he came in and he was just like a middling jungle most of the time. He had a couple like glimpses of strength, but most of the time he was just okay. He looked like one of those imports that came in and was like, no, I'm a level above the league. You're gonna have to catch up.
Yes. Plus, I'll just say there are players in the league where like the standings can deceive you, like have all different factors in the game can make you look better. The score or the eye test just checks out like a motherfucker. I'm not even joking, right? This is one of those players you could line up 50 junglers, take all the nameplates. So I guarantee I guess this guy instantly, like that. There's no chance I'm guessing someone else. Like he is so cracked, it's unbelievable. I think he's mega. Right. What about like I said, I actually think G2's Vitality is also one that you can get through pretty quick because what's there to complain about? Even when they lost games, it was like when they were already definitely locked in and everything. Who gives a shit at that point in time? See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.